Hello everyone, Jabman025 here. Today I'm taking a look at my 73rd Master Grade, the Gundam Death Scythe Hell Custom, or if you prefer, Gundam Death Scythe Hell EW. This is from the movie/OVA Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, and of the Gundam Wing Endless Waltz kits, this was always my favorite Gundam. I always loved the design, I love the bat wings, so I had to get this kit. So let's have a look at it and see what we got. Start by looking at the torso, chest area. This is pretty much a straight recolor of the Death Scythe EW on this part. No real changes. Cockpit opens up. You can see Duo Maxwell inside. The head is also pretty much a straight recolor. The V-fin is a little different. You do have to do a little bit of painting on the vents on the side of the head, but you had to do that on Death Scythe as well. A little tip if you're going to build this kit, these little white sections for the shoulder. This section here slides in and out for a transformation. I'll talk about that in a bit, but this is a very tight piece. I suggest you sand it or make it a little looser just to save yourself some aggravation later. The arm is fairly different from Death Scythe. A new shoulder, new forearm. Nice big bend out of the arm, so there's no real issues there. I am happy to report that the shoulder is much stronger and much better than the Death Scythe EW. Has a much stronger attachment, so we don't have as many issues there. In terms of the hand, just like the Death Scythe before it, you get 4 individual fingers to flip around, an open style, a wide open style, a fist, and one with a tooth in it to hold the scythe itself. Now with the Death Scythe there weren't a whole lot of bad nubs, mainly because there was a lot of white on the kit. Now it's pretty much all gray and black, so nubs will show up a lot worse. So you might suggest getting a extra fine file to try and hide those as best you can. They're not bad, but they do stand out more on darker colors. Bottom half of the kit is a straight recolor of Death Scythe EW. No changes, just a recolor. Knees are still a little loose, but you still get a nice big bend out of the knee. Still get a nice big wide bend on the hips. No problems there. And there you can see it next to its predecessor. Like I said, right now they're not a whole lot different, aside from a recolor and new arms and new shoulders, but really what makes the difference between the Death Scythe and Death Scythe Hell? The wings. Speaking of which, here's the back section for the wing. This is the center section that's going to plug into the backpack. Or plug into the back, pardon me. You have these 2 hinges that pop out, so you can spread the wings out nice and wide, which I'll show you in a bit. And the section that connects into the back is on a pivot, so you can have it straight up and down or more at an outward angle. Here you can see the first wing attached. Very nice looking. And if you spread it out, it disconnects in 2 different places. As you can see, though, it is a little wobbly. These is in a super stiff wing, so you can have a little bit of free movement, but can be a little too free. There you can see the whole wing put together. A very bat-like appearance. When it's all connected together, it's nice and strong, no issues. When it's spread out like this, it can be a little loose. But, truth be told, I'd rather have it be a little loose than not have this feature at all, so I'm not going to complain too much on it. Overall, it looks great. It really does look nice. Now, I will advise you to do this. It has a very strong connection on the back, so it won't fall out. It has a couple of hooks in there to keep it in, so I suggest you do all the decals and all the dry transfers before you actually attach it on there. You can see there are a lot of dry transfers on the wings itself. On the body, not so much, maybe 2 or 3, but all over the wings there are dry transfers, so go ahead and do the dry transfers before you attach the thing and save yourself some aggravation. The body is mostly sticker decals, very reminiscent of Death Scythe, not much changes. They do give you a couple of extra bonus decals you can use or not, your choice, so that's kind of nice. But the decals are nice, they accent the kit well. And here you can see it with the wings attached. Now tell me that doesn't give you some nostalgia for the old Gundam Wing days. And as you can see, like I said, when the wings are attached, it's nice and strong, no problems, nothing's fallen. It is a little back heavy. If you give it a good bonk, it will fall back. But truthfully, I was expecting a whole lot worse than this. Overall, it's not bad at all. Now, if you pop those little white sections out like I was talking about earlier, you can move the wings around forward and have it in active cloak mode. And then just flip the little white sections down and it hooks into place. The idea is that these little two red hooks on the inside are supposed to hook together to keep them locked in place. After trying and trying, I just couldn't get that to work, but even if they're not hooked together, it still looks good. The one and only accessory for this kit is the scythe. And this is a carbon copy reprint of the Death Scythe. No changes, even the decals are the same. And just like the Death Scythe EW, you're going to have a hand that attaches into it, which is attached into the main hand. Now, you remember when I did the Death Scythe review, I had major league issues with this. Well, I am happy to report that Death Scythe Hell does not have those issues. Shake it, rattle it, roll it. Really shake it. Go nuts with it. It ain't going to drop the scythe. Thank you, Bandai, for fixing that problem. Now, I do want to add one caveat with that. When I did my Death Scythe EW review, I got a lot of comments from people saying, well, I don't have that problem. And other people said, yeah, I got the exact same problem. So maybe I got the good version this time. I can only go by what I see, but hopefully this means all the Death Scythe Hells are going to be like this, but I do want to add that little caveat that maybe not all of them are going to be perfect. Now, if you spread out the wings as such, it does get a little more back heavy. Truthfully, not bad, but with the wings all spread out, you kind of have to keep it well balanced and well centered, so you can't get a ton of poses when you're doing this. Now, if you put it on an action base, you see it comes with an attachment. It can attach into the crotch, or it has a section on the bottom half of the wing that you can connect it into, your choice. Both connections are just fine, no worries there. Now, once you got them up in the air, these wings are a lot more posable, and they don't create as many weight issues. You can kind of bring them forward, you can move them back, you can move them a little bit to the side. It pivots on two different places on the wings, so you got a lot more options to play with if it's on an action base. You don't necessarily have to have one, but it does give you more options to play with. I will say getting this thing into good poses takes some effort and some time. Can be done. This is a real nice pose here, but it takes a while. Everything has to be put in just the right spot, and it's a little frustrating. I've had worse kits to pose, but it does take a little bit of effort to get some nice poses. But when you do get them in nice poses, it looks pretty badass. Final thoughts on this kit? I'm giving this kit a thumbs up. As of right now, this is your 2011 Kit of the Year. Truth be told, there's only 2 kits so far, so it doesn't have a lot of competition, but this was a great kit. For me, anyway, it fixed all the flaws that Death Scythe EW had. Much better shoulders, hands are a heck of a lot better holding that scythe. The wings are awesome, you can get all sorts of neat poses with them. Like I said, to get the full range, you got to put it on an action base, but that's a lot of Gundams these days. But overall, this is a great kit. I'm happy to have it to my collection. Big thumbs up. If you're thinking about getting this and you're not sure, get it. It's a great kit. Well, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment. You guys know I love reading them. If you got any questions, ask them. I'll answer them as best I can. Please stay tuned for more. I have a little surprise coming up for my next project, so stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys next time with another review. Thanks again, guys. Oh, and one more thing. I've got an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other. Who do you think I'm listening to?